everybody. Honestly feeling a little bit tired and disorganized this morning, but we are going to get this day and this vlog started with a quick, probably about 5 or maybe 6 product face just to get going. Can't even tie my hair up properly this morning. That's pretty much how the state of things are going. So let's get on with some makeup and wake me up. So I'm just going to do my super minimal, like I don't have time for this makeup. Let's start with base. I'm using the Chanel Eau de Teint. I went and got a darker colour, which I think is good for me right now. It matches the rest of my body anyway, because I've got a little bit of tan on. This is so nice because it's really moisturising as well as, I wouldn't say it's got coverage, honestly, but it's, I don't know, it just kind of transforms your skin. It's a really nice combination of hydrating, moisturising skincare, I'd say, and like just a slight bit of colour, tint, even things out, what we like to see. So, already looking a lot more awake. Fantastic. I stayed up way too late last night watching Love Actually, of all things. I mean, it's quite a Christmassy excuse to be tired, if we're honest, but I really shouldn't have done it because I've got too much to do today. It's coming towards that like countdown point to Christmas where there is just, I mean, time is dissolving, it's running out so quickly and there is so much to do. I have an absolutely massive to-do list, which is kind of separated, like there's the work to-do list and then there's the personal life to-do list, and one of them's going to get done and one of them isn't. At the moment Vlogmas is taking over, and the rest of my life is kind of falling off a bit. Hopefully we can strike a bit more of a balance towards the end of this week and Vlogmas will be done. We're actually on the second to last episode now. This is what you're watching, Vlogmas 11, and yeah, then tomorrow will be the final one, and I think I've probably got about a day, maybe a day and a half to just get shit done in the rest of my life. So that basically involves buying Christmas presents, which I have done none of. That's a lie. I've bought one present. One. I've always been a Christmas Eve kind of girl. I mean, if there's things I know I want to buy people and things I have to pre-order, I will do. But I'm not the best at doing things on a time crunch. I'm definitely poor at my time management. Anyway, what am I doing? So I just used the Glossier Stretch Concealer. Sometimes I wouldn't do this actually, but like I said, very tired eyes at the moment. Just want to brighten those up. So I'm not putting a lot of that on. And I'm using the shade G9, which I think is actually a pretty good match to go alongside with the Chanel Eau de Teint. Is it this one or this one? This is the darker one. So I have 2 shades now, and I use either or depending on how light or dark my skin is, and then I mix them together. Works out pretty well. Always use these Clinique Chubby sticks when I'm just in a massive rush because they're the quickest and easiest thing to blend out. The contour stick in the shade Curvy Contour No. 1, and I also have recently been trying this one. It's the Cheek Colour Balm in Amped Up Apple. Sometimes I'll do just blush, sometimes I'll do bronzer, sometimes I will do both, but I think today we're going to go for a bit of bronzer. So you just literally draw it on and blend out. It's so simple. You could do this with your fingers if you didn't have a brush. I feel like you just get a little bit more of a blended finish if you do use it with a brush, and look, like it just dissolves into your skin, it melts. These have been part of my makeup routine for a really long time. I've always been like a cream product, cream bronzer girl, but I feel like I've gone through a couple of those now. Not that they don't last a long time, because they do, you don't really need a lot, but I definitely have used my fair share of them. Okay, I'd say that is skin pretty much done. I'm just gonna do a little bit of brows, and then maybe we'll put some mascara on. Not sure. My eyes feel so sore. I don't know why. I think it is the late nights staying up editing, if I'm honest. It may be the glass of Baileys I had last night as well. But I think it's the editing. I've been wearing my glasses and everything, and it just, which I don't normally do, even though I should. Let's do some lips first, and then I'll see if I want to do mascara. I've been using this Glossier, I'm I'm not sure what the name of these are. They're the lipsticks or lip balms. Hydrating, Shine and Colour. Anyway, they're really good. They're like a very natural, glossy, but not overly shiny, and also really hydrating colour to put on your lips. Obviously, I am a big matte lip girl, so these are quite different for me. But I've been using them a lot, and you've been asking me what I've been wearing on my lips in quite a few videos, and it's these. I'm mainly wearing Villa, but I also quite like Trench, which is a bit of a more warm toned, darker shade. Just put a little bit of that on top. And I like these for minimal makeup days, because if I were to put a proper lip on now, it would just take over. It would be way, way too much. Let's do mascara. Why not? I've lost count of how many products we're on, but I'm gonna call this like a 5-product face. I think it counts. Glossier Lash Slick. Really, really into this at the moment, because it just makes my lashes nice and fluffy, not too pronounced and stand out, and really probably is one of the best mascaras you can use for a minimal makeup look. You can just put such a small amount of this on, such a light layer. I wish they did this in brown. It would be so good, because the combination of that formula with something that looks like it's not really there. Brown mascara always to me looks like it's kind of way more like your lashes. That would be amazing. Come on, Glossier. Brown lash slick, please. And that's me done, I think. Very simple, very, very easy and quick. 5, 6, 7 product makeup. Easy. I think the last thing I'm going to do is actually change my earrings. A pair of gold hoops, chunky gold hoops in particular, are your best friend when it comes to feeling more put together. These, for some reason, just absolutely transform my face, and I feel like it works for anyone. I could be wearing no makeup at all, put on a nice chunky pair of gold hoops and feel instantly better. Like, I don't need makeup, like I'm already done, I'm ready to go. I feel like they are the #1 accessory, and I wear them all the time. These are from Another Stories. They used to have these little charms on them, which I took off, because other than that they are the perfect, like, mid-sized, chunky but not too heavy or thick gold hoop. Yes, and I love them. So that's me ready for the day. Let's go and get our to-do list smashed. So I thought, seeing as this video is already pretty beauty heavy with me starting off doing my makeup today, I would sit down and we could just have a chat about some current beauty favourites. I haven't really done favourites videos, well, at all this year. Maybe I've done one. I'm still going to try and get an end of year roundup together for January, which will be my best products, best of the year. I have been trying new things more so than I have for most of the year in the last couple of months, and there's a couple of things I want to show you guys and mention. So let's get started. Let's start with a skincare cleansing duo that I am obsessed with. When I say obsessed, I mean obsessed. I think my skin is the best it has ever looked right now. I think it's a testament to these two products that I'm basically wearing no foundation at all, very little concealer, and I'm happy with the way things are looking. So the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm I did talk about while I was doing my skincare the other day. I had a mini, this is the full size, and the Roche-Posay Toleriane Gel Mousse. These two are now my everyday best friends. I use this one in the morning, surprisingly. Normally I go for like a lighter cleanser in the morning, but this cleansing balm with my, let me go and get it actually. The one thing I wanted to talk about and I forgot to pick it up. Anyway, this cleansing balm with my Gua Sha is the most like luxury indulgent treat in the morning. Such a rich, silky, beautiful balm. So great to do a facial massage when you have this on, which is why I use it. Instead of going all the way to my moisturising step and then using the Gua Sha, which I know a lot of people do, I like to do it with the cleanser. It just feels so good. This normally is very cold in the mornings, even if I just keep it out on my bathroom shelf. And just moving this across your skin is the most beautiful feeling. I tend to kind of concentrate on my jawline and under my eyes very, very gently. I almost just kind of press it across just to get that cooling sensation. And it is wonderful. It's my favourite part of the day. And then in the evening I will use this again to break down my makeup. It's great for that too. Really helps get rid of the most kind of stubborn of eye makeup and mascaras, to the point that I don't need a separate product to remove it. That does the job. And then I'll use this, the Roche-Posay Gel Mousse. It's just so simple of a product. It really, there's not a lot to it other than it's from the Toleriane range, which is like a softening, hydrating range. Obviously their moisturizers are my favorite things ever. And it cleanses, it kind of gets off that like final remaining dirt that you want to get off in a second cleanse. Feels really soft and gentle, not stripping at all, even though it's like a slightly foamy mousse. Just beautiful. And I've come to love this in the evenings because it's that like final refreshing step before I go to bed, and I feel like clean and fresh and all extra cozy when I put on my pajamas. So yeah, cleansing duo, obsessed. I've also, like I said, been loving the Roche-Posay moisturizers. This is the newest one that I have tried. The Toleriane fluid will always be my #1 go-to, but the Nutritic Intense Riche has been really great in the evenings, or just on days that I feel like I want a bit more hydration, particularly a no makeup day. If I know I'm not gonna have anything but skincare on my face all day, I'll just pop a nice thick layer of this on. It's heavier than the Toleriane fluid, but it's still not weighing or overly greasy or as heavy that it just sits on my skin. It's really rich and really hydrating, and yet still has that light breathable texture. I don't know how they do it. It's impressive, to say the least. But that is a new fave, well, I guess 2 new favourites from Roche-Posay. I think if I only had to use one skincare brand, it would be them. I think I could find something in every category that would satisfy me and make me really happy. Love a nice bit of French pharmacy skincare. Additional extras to my skincare routine have actually been these 2 from Origins. I've actually always been a long-standing Origins fan, and I think when it comes to masks and all those kind of additional products that you add into your skincare routine, not necessarily your everydays, they're the best. They're #1. The Drink Up Intensive Mask, this one I am nearly, like, totally, completely out of, has been a favourite of mine for probably going on about, oh God, how old am I? 10, 11 years now. It's the best. It's my go-to and my fail-safe. I know if I'm having problems with my skin, I know if it looks a bit dull and drained, I can put this on and in the morning it will be better again. It's so rich. It kind of sits on the skin a little bit, but it does sink in. You don't have to worry about this getting on your pillow and things like that. It just gives you that layer of protection where your moisture isn't leaving your skin throughout the night. And I wake up still feeling this on my face, which I know is the mark of a good hydrating product. The Checks and Balances is something that's a bit more new to me. This is their polishing face scrub. I'm not a face scrub kind of girl at all. I'm so much more of an acid, AHA, BHA kind of person when it comes to exfoliating. But in the winter, I feel like my skin just gets so dry to a point that I need to kind of manually exfoliate that dead skin off. And this is what I've been using. It's light, but it does the job, you know? It gets off what it needs to get off. And it's kind of a bit of a wash as well. There's some foaming action in here. Kind of more aimed towards the oilier skin people out there. Because it does really, really cleanse as well as scrub. But I've been really liking it. I feel like this once a week, once every 2 weeks, which is a very small amount, I know, is enough for me. It gets off that dry skin that's just not being taken away with my other exfoliators, and helps everything go on so much better. Helps skincare sink in, helps makeup look nicer, and I don't have any of those dry patches that I sometimes get in winter. So those 2 from Origins I've really loved, and I think Origins are just, again, an amazing skincare brand. Let's stick to skin type products. We'll talk about some body products next, and in particular this line from Amanda Harrington. Amanda Harrington is a Southtown brand. There's the pre-color primer, the body mousse, and the face mist. This face mist, I know a lot of people just kind of don't bother to tan their face because not only is it tricky to get right, it also kind of comes off so quickly that you're doing it nearly every day. And this takes that difficulty completely out of that whole process. It's just a mist. You just spray it on your face, and then it comes with a little brush, which I think I've got somewhere right now. Not 100% on the location of that, so I won't go and grab it. But it's a little brush, and you just work it all around your face and you're done. That is it. You can use this as the final step of your skincare routine. You can use it just on its own, and it's like a 30-second process. It's so quick and easy. It also, rather than dark, light medium, comes in undertone colour. So I have natural rose, and for me, someone with quite fair skin, this is the perfect shade. It looks so natural, and so much like I just have a tan rather than kind of orangey or greeny tone like a lot of fake tanners can be. And the body products are so simple to use. You have the primer, which is like a slightly tinted moisturizer, and you can use this to top up your tan throughout the week. And then the mousse is just the easiest thing ever. When I do tan, I go for mousses most of the time because you can't really go too wrong with them. And again, this one is in the natural rose colour. Such a nice colour, probably the nicest colour tan, these two, that I've ever used. And so simple. I can just put like a little bit of this on my legs and then blend it upwards slightly and it's done. I tend to just stick to the areas most of the time that you can see, and because it's a mousse, it's quite seamless, so there's no like harsh lines when you do that. I know these are on the higher price, they're more like a luxury brand, luxury tanning product, but I think you get what you pay for. Tanning is something I think you want to invest a little bit more money into because it's a very noticeable result, and you want to get that right. So I've really liked those a lot, and I've used them all throughout the year. Even when I wasn't going out or seeing anyone, putting a little bit of colour into my skin, a bit of fake tan was just like the pick-me-up that I needed. And then throughout the week on top of that, I've been using a moisturiser just to keep it hydrated. And this, I think, is probably one of my favourite discoveries of the entire year. I've lost the lid for this, which frustrates me, but anyway, it's the Neutrogena Deep Moisture Express Body Mist. I am sure these body mists were a thing maybe like, again, 10 years ago. I think I had a Vaseline one and you sprayed it and it was never really that good. This one is amazing. If I could recommend any product to you to go out and get from this entire video, it would be this one. Very inexpensive, high street drugstore brand. And it's such a good hydrator for something that comes out as an incredibly fine mist that you barely feel and that takes like a second to rub in. It really does moisturize, you know. My skin is very dry on my body. You pop this on seconds after you come out the shower, spray it, pat yourself down, and it's done. And as someone who really should moisturize my whole body and forgets to or doesn't because, you know, it's just a bit lazy and it's time consuming, that is amazing. I seriously think anybody would benefit from having that in their life. It's so good. Next, let's talk about some makeup bits. Obviously, everything I just used putting my makeup on today kind of gets an induction already into the favourites because they're things I use every single day and they're great. But a couple of extras, I have to talk about Orchid. This brand has been one of my favourites this year. It's a new launch from Tanya Burr. She's brought out 4 products so far, although there are more to come. And it's just a brand and a launch that really excites me. I really like what they represent and what they're doing right now. Very different to any other beauty brand, I'd say, in terms of their marketing, and their products are amazing. They're simple, but they are great. I think the standout is the tinted moisturizer. If you're going to try one thing, try this. It's wonderful. This is the thinnest and lightest and yet most pigmented and covering tinted moisturizer I have ever used. It's so thin, it's almost like a liquid, you know, there's nothing much to it, and yet it covers, you know, it has almost like a medium coverage, which you never ever get in a tinted moisturizer. It has the most beautiful glow, while at the same time not being overly sticky and not, you know, transferable. It doesn't look like you've just got oil all over your face like some tinted moisturizers can do. I honestly think Tanya's kind of pulled the best bits from all the tinted moisturizers that she knows and loves and made the most incredible product. Highly, highly rate that, and this has kind of become my full coverage product. I don't go anywhere near actual foundations these days, so when I want something that's really going to perfect my skin, this is what I go for because I just know it's going to cover beautifully. Also, of the 4 products she has, there's a mascara and a lip balm as well. I've really come to enjoy using the brow gel. I feel like this is everything that the Glossier Boy Brow should be. I know so many people love that. It's such a cult product, but it just doesn't work on my brows. I don't know why. It's too waxy and heavy. This has that same small brush, really easy to kind of define and comb your brows out with, but it just is a little bit on the lighter side. It sets really well instead of being very flexible and almost like, you know, like a pomade for your brows. Has a great colour tint to it as well. I've got the shade mid brown, which is pretty great for my brows, and I tend to use a clear brow gel to set them, and then I will just brush this through just a tiny amount as as that's drying, and it gives me that like three-dimensional look to my brows. Sometimes with pencil it can just look a bit flat, so using pencil and then using this on top, it really just makes your brows look super natural. So yeah, Orthid as a brand, I highly recommend trying out. I think they are just great. Everything they stand for, everything they do, all the products are vegan, cruelty-free, sustainably driven. Very impressed by that launch this year. Another new brand actually, this is the Vive Skin Dew. Obviously Jamie Genevieve's brought out this beautiful, beautiful makeup line. Everything is stunning, and I think this really was the product for me. I mean, I'm not a massive eyeshadow wearer anymore. I mean, I don't really wear eyeshadow at all. I'm not into the full glam look so much, which I think it leans more towards, but you know, you can pick and choose from those products and really make them work for you no matter how you like to wear your makeup. And for me, the Skin Dew, everything I've ever wanted in a highlighter. It is an intense, glowy, golden toned highlight, and yet it works so well even if you have no makeup on, if you have minimal makeup on. It's just a really beautiful little cream. I tend to take this straight out and then just like dab it on. I can even put some on now because you don't have to worry about it looking streaky or like you've just placed a product on like I sometimes get with creams. Blends out so smoothly and seamlessly, and I don't know if you can see that, but the glow this gives, amazing. It's not super chunky in terms of glitter. It has just the right amount of sheen, and I think it makes my skin look so dewy and natural, and love it. So we've just got a couple more bits left. I normally do mention in these videos a fragrance or the fragrance I'm currently wearing, perfume I'm loving, and I feel a little bit sad talking about this and slightly unfair because you cannot get hold of it anymore. When I finish this, that is it. And it's a very small bottle. It's from Jo Malone. It's the Elderflower Cordial Cologne. They did a limited edition run of quite a few of these, and they were all floral based, I think. It's a very sweet and pretty little bottle. I really like this a lot actually. I don't think I'm going to be able to explain to you how good this smells, because when you think of elderflower, you tend to think of elderflower in terms of the drink or the cordial, and it doesn't smell like that. It's so warming and sweet and kind of a little bit powdery. I must have had a perfume that smelled like this when I was younger, because it instantly brings me back to being young again, you know, being a child. I don't know what it is. It is so nostalgic and incredible, but I mean, even if you didn't have that kind of reaction with it, it is a beautiful scent. It's so warming and rich and lovely and perfect. I've almost started wearing this quite sparingly now, and there are days when I think, no, this is not a good enough day to put this perfume on, because I feel like I've got barely any of it left. If anyone has this and doesn't like it and wants to sell it to me, please hit me up in my DMs. If I had any advice to you guys, don't ever buy a limited edition perfume, because if you fall in love with it, you're kind of stuck. Okay, two last bits to mention. These two are everyday essentials for me, and I keep them in my handbag. They come around with me wherever I go. And they're my hand maintenance kit. I have the driest hands I've ever had right now. I think it's down to washing them so much and, you know, just generally it being quite cold. I use these two when I'm out. That's when I feel like most of the time my hands are just unbearably uncomfortable. So we have the Aesop Geranium Leaf Rinse-Free Hand Wash. So this is just like a hand sanitizer, but it is so much more than that. It is less stripping, I find, than most of them, and the scent of this is beautiful. Like, it's a really enjoyable product to use. I'm sure we're all sick of hand gel and hand washes and things like that by now, but this kind of makes things a little bit chicer and cuter. The bottle, stunning. So I use that, you know, every time I touch something when I go outside, every time I'm out and about. And obviously any alcohol-based hand sanitizing product is going to be quite stripping. So then I have this with me most of the time. It's the Body Shop Hemp Hand Cream Hand Protector. I mean, this is a cult classic for me. I've probably mentioned this in various favourites videos throughout the years. It's the best hand cream ever. If you haven't tried this before, and most of the time hand creams don't quite cut it for you, I promise this will be what you need. It is a dry hand essential. It smells funky, I'm not gonna lie. It does not smell nice. I mean, you do get used to it. Now that I'm familiar with this scent, I kind of like it. But it's not the most beautiful, like, light floral fragrance. It's quite heavy and heady and deep. To me, that doesn't matter though, because it is truly the best hand cream you will come across. So those two, always in my handbag nowadays, and essential for me now that that's the way the world works. And do you know what? I probably will stick to that now forever, for the rest of my life. If the pandemic taught me anything, it's that we really do touch a lot of things I notice it so much more now, and hand sanitizer is always going to be on deck. I'm going to leave all these bits that I can find linked down below for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a little bit different, but we've had a good beauty chat, which we really haven't done for a while. I'm always curious as to whether you guys prefer my beauty-based videos, which, you know, there's very much few and far between these days, or if you enjoy the style ones more. I know vlogs are the favourite, but sometimes, like today, there's just not a lot to talk about. So yeah, let me know. What are your favourite videos to watch? What do you kind of click onto YouTube for? And I guess I will see you guys again tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of Vlogmas, and I will be vlogging properly as much as the day permits me, because it's going to be a busy one, I am sure. So I guess I will see you then. One more day to go, one more video left, and yeah, I'm getting a bit sad that it's coming to a close, if I'm honest. I have been enjoying this a lot. But yeah, we will save that chat for tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you then.